All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? So, as you can see and probably saw in the thumbnail here, Dirt King high clearance bumper for a Chevy Silverado. I've got a 2018. I'm gonna go ahead and take you through an installation process. Stay tuned. Now you'll have to excuse the semi-crowded garage. This is all I have for workspace as of right now. The other garage, wife's car stays there. I don't bother with that too much. That's her spot, her space. So we'll go ahead and keep going. Have to excuse me at this point. I got a little too excited and started just working and didn't realize that my clips were partially out of sequence, and I just continued working whether or not it was recording. So you may see a little bit of back and forth, and the sequence of the clips may not make a whole lot of sense, but bear with me. You get the point. We're sanding down right now, prepping for a coat of primer on it. I will put some tape down to cover up the license plate lights later. Just follow along. Now you'll see as I put tape over the license plate light inserts, I wanted to make sure that the inserts don't get crowded with primer and paint and make it therefore impossible to install down the road. Taping that down, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this area down one more time. There's absolutely no way that I did not touch something in some way, shape, or form here. So just to be safe and make sure you've got good adhesion, clean it. Just clean it. It's really not that hard to do. It takes all of, I don't know, 2 minutes to make sure it's done properly. Get it in clean. And then we'll do another coat of primer. Now you'll see that I'm using 800 grit sandpaper. After the primer is sat for about 30 minutes, it was relatively warm that day, about 75 degrees. Let it dry, sand it down to knock down any rough edges or rough surfaces. Now it's time for paint. Surface is cleaned, it's prepped, it's primed, sanded, and re-cleaned again. I'm using Chevy Black, found at AutoZone, and we'll go ahead and get started painting. Now I can already hear in the comments, oh my goodness, the paint job, why is he painting like that? Why are you rattle canning it? You know what? This is a DIY project at home. It is not a professional. I am not by any means a painter. Now I've got the first coat dried up a little bit. I'm spraying a second coat on top of that just to make sure I've got good even coverage. Well, it's painted and cleared. Not necessarily sure I'm happy with the results of it, but not really sure what I expected being a DIY paint job. I'm gonna let it sit. I'll probably come back to it tomorrow after work. Once it's cured, sat for about 24 hours, I'm gonna do the Rhino liner on the top side here so that I've got something to actually step on that is somewhat safe. Hopefully it provides enough anti-slip that I won't have to actually go somewhere and do it, but we'll see. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day. I got a little overzealous and did the liner coating or the Rhino lining on the top of the bumper before turning the camera on. But I mean, really, it's the same process as you watch me do it with the paint. Solvent clean, scuff it down, solvent clean again. You could probably actually remove or avoid the first solvent clean, scuff it down, solvent clean it, and then spray several light coats, on top of the bumper. I masked it off to get a nice clean, crisp line. I'll show you guys here in a second. So as you can see, nice, clean, crisp line all the way down onto the other side. Same story there, all the way down, crisp, clean line. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of paint touch up on the bumper, on the lower portion of the bumper itself. I did have some paint peel up, probably wasn't cured or I didn't clean it properly, but other than that, now I'm just literally watching paint dry. So I'm probably gonna call it. All right, so hey everybody, a couple days later now, I got a little overzealous and as you can see, removed the original bumper. Had some stuff go on with my daily driver and I needed to take the truck into work, which, I mean, probably not the worst thing in the world to have happen. I picked something up off the freeway in my BMW, my daily driver, and it ended up tearing down the undercarriage plastics, the engine covers, tearing it down, folding it, and dragging it underneath. So I had to go remove all of that, tried to drive it again to work this morning. Found out that there's still some stuff that's hanging loose and needed to be fastened or secured a little bit better. So took care of that. Now I think I'll be okay driving the car to work tomorrow. But in the meantime, I drove the truck to work today. And so therefore I had to kind of speed things along. I still needed a bumper. I had already taken the old bumper off. Here we are. So now what needs to happen, bear with me here, is, so I cut these down. In order to put the new bumper on, I had to cut those off. And now I'm kind of just marking where I'm going to be doing the dovetail cut on the bedside. And I apologize for not having the best of lighting. As you can see, it's sunny out there. There's the BMW that had the issues. And well, truck's in the garage. I'm working on it currently. So anyways, you can see all the wiring hanging down. I'm gonna have to address the exhaust. I can do that at a later time. For the time being, I just need to mark out where I wanna go cut the bedside. I've already kind of got an idea based on this line here. I think I might need to go a little bit higher because right here, there's an indent. So I might need to go just a little bit higher right there to go make sure that I don't have any weird shaped sheet metal left over. Anyways, I'll probably go finish marking these off, cut the one side, and I'll get back to you guys. At this point, I just set the GoPro up on a tripod, and I just got to work on cutting the dovetail. In retrospect, I probably should have had a face shield that had safety glasses and ear protection on, but it was still pretty sketchy. Don't try this at home, kids. I ended up having to jack the truck up because I was not going to be able to cut the inside piece of that bedside with the tire in the way. Well, driver's side is cut. A little rough, but I've got a grommet, like a U-shaped grommet on the way. It'll be here in a couple days. I can follow up with that once that's completed. But this is the cut. I'm gonna have to do some final trimming around here, but I can do that with a file or a Dremel or something a lot less invasive than a full-blown grinder or body saw. So I'll go ahead and line up the other side, tape that up, cut it. I did actually end up having to lift the truck up there, so I had a little bit more room to work in here with cutting. I was getting a little too close for comfort, but I didn't quite feel like pulling off the wheel and tire. So let's go to the other side. There you go. That's what it looks like. Uncut, well, partially uncut. For the most part, unbothered. I'll go ahead and tape it up and go from there. Alright, so the new bumper's in place. It takes 2 screws there. Those are 21 millimeter. Sorry, 2 nuts, and then the same thing on the other side there. There you go. 2 nuts on that side. They are supplied. I'm running out of time today, but license plate wiring gets hooked up to your old one. I've already cut the wire. I'll hook that up tomorrow. I've got a little bit more time. Since I won't be running a spare tire, I've actually got a kit coming from Drew's Fab for a in-bed tire holder for a full size, which actually my full size spare tire did show up today. I'll go ahead and pull the spare tire holder off, and that obviously won't be needed anymore. And I think in the interim, because my exhaust now hangs pretty low, looks kind of gaudy, I think what I'm going to end up doing is, bear with me here, so just on the forward side of the axle there are hangers there. I think what I'm going to do is chop it somewhere around here so that it's pointing down and not up at the material here. I'll chop it somewhere here, probably put the exhaust tip here, and for the time being that's probably going to be it. So probably catch up with you guys tomorrow. I'm going to clean up. I got some homework to do today, and pick back up tomorrow. Well, here it is with the grommet installed, bumper installed, license plate lights installed. Everything's good to go. I think it looks pretty good. Thanks for watching.